Why should we believe that there's a Jesus actually who existed, who got nailed up on a cross and died for us? Why should we believe that? I want to ask you guys that tonight. I know y'all weren't expecting me to come down here tonight, but let me go back up there so you guys can see me. So, why should we believe this? Because we've been indoctrinated to believe it, because I grew up in a family that told me just to believe it. Oh, Jacob, just believe it because it says so, right? It's written in here, so believe it. Don't ask any questions, just believe it. I'm sorry, but that's terrible. I believe what we should do is use logic, reason, and evidence for anything we read, anything we hear from anybody. And not just take things for, anything anyone ever says to you, you just believe it right away. No, that's not smart. So I understand a lot of us at this school are not believers. There's plenty of atheists here, and I know that. There's plenty of people who do not believe. They believe this Jesus dude. Jessup people are just some crazy weirdos that believe a magical God in the sky. And I get that. So why do you say that, Jacob? Well, because I want to talk to you guys tonight. Not just one group, not just one crowd of the Bible believers. Because I believe a lot of our chapels are just geared towards one group and one audience. And tonight, I want to talk to everyone, the unbelievers and the believers. And so, as you guys know, we've been going through the book of Mark. And just to recap, I'm just letting you guys know, I'm not going to be preaching on you guys tonight. I'm really not. The only thing I'm going to be preaching is right now. You guys know we've been going through the book of Mark in chapters 14 and 15. I'll just recap. So basically, as you guys saw in the video, Jesus was beaten. He was handed over by his best friends, betrayed for 30 cents of silver. His best friend denied him in front of everyone, and he got hung up on a cross. And we're told that he rose from the dead. And so tonight, I want to give you a couple facts. First, I'll be starting off with 4 facts that nobody denies, if you can put the slide up. 4 facts that nobody denies. 4 facts that no reputable scholar will deny. Again, you don't have to believe in this, but these are just facts. Number 1, Jesus was a real person. If you guys can put the slide up. Like I said, no scholar denies this. You can be an atheist, but you do the research, people will tell you, yes, Jesus of Nazareth was a real person in history. So I want to take a look a little bit about Jesus and his life. Jesus was a nobody, you guys. Really, he was a nobody. He was a carpenter. His ministry was 3 years long. He walked from town to town, never owned more than the clothes on his back. He didn't write a book, didn't make a scientific discovery, didn't have political power. These are all things I'm saying that are things that make somebody known in history. Things that people do that make them influential. He was a nobody. Yet, this is the man that changed history. This is the man that is arguably one of the most influential people in human history. Literally, our school is founded on this dude, right? The question is, how did he do it? How? No one knew this man. How is he one of the most influential people in human history? And today, I want to be talking about the resurrection. Something must have happened. Something must have happened for this man to be the most influential person in history. Because if I'm looking at the facts, you're telling me this guy, Jesus of Nazareth, changed the world practically? It doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. Number 2, no one denies that Jesus died on the cross via crucifixion. In fact, there's a leading atheist in the New Testament. You guys, just letting you know, there are atheists, yes, atheists, that study the New Testament. You can go and put the slide up. His name is Bart Ehrman. He's a New Testament scholar, and he is an atheist, and he agrees. Yes, there's virtually nothing more sure from antiquity than Jesus of Nazareth was crucified. In fact, we have archaeological evidence as well that corroborates with the Bible. If you can go to the next slide. And that is Pontius Pilate's stone that tells us that, yes, Pontius Pilate was a real governor during this time period. What does it say in the Bible? Jesus was sentenced by who? Pontius Pilate. So we know Jesus died on the cross. There's no one that denies that. No one denies this. Jacob, right now we're looking at facts that are outside of the Bible. Things outside of the Bible that we're looking at to point us to all this being real. Because again, I can just look in the Bible and be like, well, it says so in here, right here. Just believe it. Case closed. Chapel's over. Good night. It takes 30 seconds to do that. You say, I want you guys to understand that, check me on this, literally. Don't just believe it because I'm saying it. Oh, some dude got the mic and I'm just going to believe in what he's saying. No. We have reputable historians that are not biased. People outside of the Bible. So one of them is Josephus. I don't have the slide for it. One of them is a Jewish historian, a Jewish person, right? He does not believe in Jesus, you guys. He rejects Jesus, and he's a historian. He writes down a lot of stuff that we hear about. That these people, like Bart Ehrman, the atheist, is saying, yeah, you know what? We do have writings during this time that says, yeah, he did live. He did die on the cross. Another one is Tacitus. I'm giving you guys these names so you guys can check me on them. When you guys go back to your homes, like, was this dude Jacob really lying or is he just making it? No. Look up these historians. They're real people. Number 3, the radical conversion of Paul and James. Again, the reason I'm using these two people right here specifically is because these people are known outside of the Bible. We're taking a step back from the Bible, okay? Taking a step back from the Bible. Paul is known outside of the Bible. I'm sure you guys, in your classes, you've heard of Saul, right? Saul of Tarsus. He was known outside of the Bible to be going around killing Christians, right? We know that, right? We've heard about that. Known outside of the Bible to be killing Christians, and then one day, what does he do? He stops killing Christians, and he goes to preach the gospel to most of the known world at that time. The question is, what happened? What could have caused someone to go from killing Christians to being a Jew during this time to be radically converted, radically changed, to go known outside of the Bible again, to go preach the gospel? Something must have happened. And tonight, I'm just begging the question to you guys. Yo, look. I think it's pointing to someone actually rising from the dead, and his name is Jesus. The second person is James. James, I love this one. Again, known outside of the Bible, you guys. Known outside of the Bible to have thought his brother was crazy. Raise your hand in here if you have a brother or sister who claims to be God. Yeah, none of us. I don't know about y'all, but I'm James right here. I'm like, bro, my sister's name's Samantha. Samantha, you crazy. You really think that you God? Yeah, nah. My sister's weird if she claims to be God. And so did James. Just like most of all of us in here would think that our sibling is just crazy if he claimed to be God or she claimed to be God. So I'm right there with James. I'm with him on that. And that's what James thought. He thought his brother was crazy. You can see in the Bible, his own family thought he was crazy, besides pretty much his mother. Right? But then something happened. James, one day, thinks his brother is crazy just like I would. And then the next day, he believes his brother's God. Why? I think Jesus did really rise from the dead. We're told that he encounters his brother risen from the dead. So if I'm James, okay, my brother's crazy. He's claiming he's God. He says he's God. He says he's going to die and rise from the dead. Yeah, dude, you're crazy. You're weird. And then he actually does it. Okay, yeah. My brother's name is Luke. Luke, I would be like, dude, you are God. That's what happened to James. And so I hear all the time, this is a very good question. You'd be like, okay, Jacob, why then did God, if God really wants us to believe in this Jesus dude, and he really wants us to believe that Jesus rose from the dead, why didn't he just send him today, right here in 2024? So we can have video evidence, right? We can have video evidence, you guys, and we can record it. And I really honestly think that if Jesus came today, we still would not believe. That we still would doubt. We still would pretty much doubt the video. I mean, I think of it myself, right? If we had video evidence, what would you guys think? Oh, that video is fake, right? That video is fake. It was edited, because I see videos all the time on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, this is fake. This is not real. Someone has really good editing skills, okay? Same thing would have happened if he would have came today. Or people would have been like, well, did he really die? Did we actually have the medical records that tell him that his vitals were he was dead? Or can we trust the person, the doctor that was there? Did they have biases? Did they change the records? Did he actually go into a coma, a cardiac arrest, or did he actually die? So what are my point of saying that? My point is, I really do think that if Jesus came today, that we would still doubt. So that's why I'm up here today, telling you guys about the reasons and the evidence we should believe. Fourth, his believers truly did believe what they believed. You say, what do I mean by that? What do you mean by that, Jacob? That doesn't even make sense. His believers truly believed what they believed. Okay, think of it like this. I wake up in the middle of the night to go get a drink of water, all right, and I see something in my hallway, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? I see something, okay? See a figure. I wake up the next day, I'm like, yo, Mom, Dad, yo, Alec, I just saw something in my house last night. I swear I did. I believe I swear I saw it, okay? Now, what could it have been? It could have been my sister going to the bathroom. It could have been my dad. It could have been a robber, right? It could have been my mind playing tricks on me. So what is the point? I truly believed that I saw something. You notice I didn't say, oh, we know for a fact that Jesus rose from the dead. No, that's the argument being contested here. But what we do know is that his believers truly believed what they believed. Why? Because who is willing to die for a known lie? No one. No one is literally going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, we're just making this up, this Jesus resurrection dude, and then, yep, we're going to get flogged and killed for it. Yep, it's a lie. Go ahead, kill me. Right here. I'm good with it. No, that's the reason why we know. They truly did believe what they believed. And so I want to go back to my first point before I get into the last four facts. And that is, how did this man do it? Like I already said, Jesus was the most influential person in human history, you guys, right? You say, why is that? Well, one of the reasons why is because there's 2.3 billion Christians today, and 5.8 non-billion Christians today that know something about the New Testament without ever opening their Bibles. You say, how is that possible? How do they know something about Jesus without ever reading the Bible? And the reason is because almost all major religions acknowledge Jesus. They either mention him or add them into the religion. That says something. Hinduism has merged Jesus into religion. They believe him to be a Sadhu saint, a holy divine one, and a wise teacher. Buddhism acknowledges Jesus' self-sacrificial life, an enlightened man, a wise teacher. If you don't know, Islam claims Jesus and the Jewish prophets to be true prophets of God. They claim the New Testament has been corrupted, but they still believe he's worthy of reverence. They still believe that he's the messenger of God. He's going to come in the final judgment in the future. Baha'u'llah, the founder of the Baha'i faith, claims many of the Christian claims of a virgin birth, divine son of God, rejection of material things. So it's easy to say, yes, Jesus is the most influential person in human history. All of these religions are pointing at who? Or mentioning him at least in some capacity, Jesus, right? But what does Jesus do? He doesn't point to nobody else. He points back to himself. He doesn't make room for Muhammad. He doesn't make room for Buddhism. He doesn't make room for any of them. He doesn't mention them, except he points to himself and says, what? I'm the way, I'm the truth, and I'm the life. No one comes to the Father except through me, meaning no one goes back to the Creator, you guys, except through me, which is the forgiveness of sins. That's powerful. To know that this man who literally, I already gave you guys the facts, literally was a nobody. He walked from town to town. He's broke. He's poor. In fact, you guys right now with your phones, I don't have my phone on me, you guys potentially have more influence than Jesus could have ever had. Why do I say that? You can open up your phone right now, make a TikTok, right? And it can get 1 million views, millions of views, 1 billion views in seconds. You potentially have more influence than Jesus ever did. But yet, we're talking about him today. Yet, all these religions are talking about him, mentioning him, pointing to him, but Jesus points back to himself. The question is, what happened? what could have caused this? And I believe it was his resurrection. I believe that is the reason why we are talking about him. And so the last thing I want to end with, I'm not going to talk long tonight. I told you, I'm not going to preach at you guys. I want to talk about 4 other facts that are within the Bible, kind of, that are not objective, meaning not everyone agrees upon them. The first 4 facts I gave you guys were objective. Everyone agrees upon. All the scholars agree upon it. These are a little different. Number 1, Jesus predicts his own death and resurrection. In Matthew 17:22 and 23, when they came together in Galilee, he said to them, the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. They will kill him, and on the 3rd day he will be raised to life. And the disciples were filled with grief. So Jesus predicts his own death and resurrection. That's powerful. Number 2, I love this one. The eyewitness, the women were the first ones to see Jesus risen from the dead. You say, Jacob, why is that important? Why is it the women you're talking about? Well, if you don't know, during this time, you have to understand the context and culture. Women were seen, their testimony was seen half that of a man. So basically, if these people write in the Bible, a lot of people think that this was written by a bunch of white men in the 1st century or in the 4th century. If they were trying to pass this off, right, as the truth, but it was really a lie, you guys, they wouldn't have said the women were the first one to see Jesus risen. No, they would have said the men were the first one to see him risen. Why? Because a woman's testimony was half that of a man. It's not believable. So why would they have said that women were the first ones to see Jesus if they're trying to pass off a lie as the truth? No, they would have said the opposite. They would have said, no, yep, the men were the first one, you guys. That's interesting. Number 3. These practicing Jews changed their religion overnight. You say, why is that important? Why? Okay, Jacob, they changed their religion. People do it all the time. These people changed, they were already the chosen people of God, the Jews, during this time. They were already chosen people of God. They believed and had their faith and loyalty in Yahweh. They're saved. They're good. Why would they have changed their beliefs overnight? Why would they have gone from observing the Sabbath on Sunday or Saturday to Sunday, which is Jesus' day he rose? Why would they have believed in sacrificing animals, and then all of a sudden now they're believing in Jesus to be the final sacrifice for sins? What could have caused that? They had everything to actually lose, you guys, by converting, by now being followers of Jesus and believing him. The question is, what could have caused it? What? Again, I'm begging the question. I believe that the evidence is pointing to this man actually rising from the dead. And the last point, so you can put it up there real quick. What do they have to gain by making this up? You say, what do you mean? If you don't know, you guys, these people, like I said, had everything to lose. What do they gain? They gain death. They were beaten, tortured, killed, ostracized for believing in Jesus, for saying, yep, this man really rose from the dead. They didn't gain sex. They didn't get any women. They didn't get any power, political power. They didn't get any money. They didn't get none of that, which are all things people will lie for. They didn't gain none of that, y'all. So you're telling me, again, I'm playing devil's advocate right now. They're like, oh yeah, you guys, come on, guys, let's huddle together. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna fake Jesus' resurrection. We're gonna steal his body, and guess what? The best part, you guys, we're gonna die. Y'all want in? Y'all want to join us? You know how ridiculous that is? These people really were willing to die for this. That must mean that something must have happened. They truly must have believed in it. And I believe that Jesus really must have risen from the dead, that these people were willing to die for it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not willing to die for a known lie. I'm not going to make something up and keep making it up. And when people keep asking me, hey, Jacob, stop lying, or you're going to get killed. And I'm going to be like, okay, go ahead and kill me. I just love to lie and get killed for things that I'm lying about. So Jacob, stop lying. We won't kill you if you just stop lying. Nope, kill me. That doesn't make any sense, you guys. So what I want you guys to do, if you're taking away anything from tonight, is to think. Think about some of the arguments I presented to you guys tonight. I only have 20 minutes, literally. I had 20 minutes. There's entire lectures or entire courses on this stuff, and I only gave you guys just a little bit, just a little tad bit. And all I'm asking you guys is to consider Jesus. Consider his resurrection. Put away your preconceived biases, you guys. If you're not a believer in here, I understand that a lot of our messages at Chapel have been just for one group, one person, right, sitting right there. They're Bible-believing Christian, have faith, read your Bible, you guys. I made this message for you, for the other group, for the other people, for the people. I'm not singling anyone out right now, but I love all y'all, by the way. But the people that sit in the back on their phones doing their homework, like, yeah, y'all kind of weird, just weird. I'm just going to Chapel because I want to get my credits. I made this for you guys tonight to get you guys to think. And if you're a believer in here, I want you guys to dig deeper on this stuff. So go look at the stuff I'm talking about tonight. The things I mentioned, the people I mentioned. Go more into it. Start to think. Don't just believe it because someone's telling you. That's not good enough. If someone tells you tomorrow, go jump off a cliff, are you going to do it? No. So if someone told you Jesus rose from the dead, why should you believe in that? And I gave you guys a couple reasons tonight. So I'm just challenging you guys. That's all I'm asking is for you guys to go put away your biases, look into this stuff, talk to me, talk to some of these other people here. There's actually, I wasn't even planning on saying this, but you say, what can I do about this? I'm actually going to start a club next year talking about this stuff. I want atheists to come, agnostics to come, Muslims to come, everyone to come so we can discuss, debate, talk about this stuff here on campus. Because I don't want to just leave you guys and give you guys a 20-minute message and you don't know what to do with it. Oh, yeah, just go back to your dorms and go read about it in your books, in your the library database. No. Next semester, I will be starting a club about this if you guys are interested. I don't care what you believe. I want you in that club. So that's all I have for you guys. If you guys want to bow your heads real quick and close your eyes. God, I thank you for every soul that you brought in here, every student that you brought onto this campus, God, who might not believe in you. But God, I know that you brought him here to this school for a reason, for a purpose, to know you and to find you. God, I pray that you begin to change this campus, change our hearts, each and every one of us, God. Christians or non-Christians, it doesn't matter. I pray that you would begin to change our hearts and change the atmosphere on this campus, God. And I pray that you, above all else, would begin to reveal yourself to us, God. For those who are doubting, for those who don't even believe your word, who think the words I'm saying, I'm just talking to nobody right now, God. But God, I know that you're real. And I pray that you would reveal yourself to those on this campus, God. And you begin to fill their hearts, God. And I pray that in the next coming semesters, God, that you begin to change this place for your glory and for your name. Amen.